Thank you. And bringing the Beacons to many successes on the field. So, Mark, I thank you for that. No BS advice. And playing with you is something I'll have forever. I'd like to thank my mother, God rest her soul. When I was first eligible to sign up for Pop Warner football, she put me in line a year early because she was so excited to have another son to play the sport. She said something to this effect: "Son, football is like life. You will get knocked down, and whether you get up or not remains to be seen." My size left me few options. I had to get up. She attended every game I played and likely understood more about the game than many of my fellow teammates. She would undoubtedly be very proud of this moment, although she had much more grander hopes for me for a Hall of Fame located somewhere in Canton, Ohio. Unfortunately, that was not the result. So thank you, Mom. I miss you, and I love you. I also want to thank my father. One does not get to this point without having a very strong work ethic. You put in countless hours in the weight room and in the off season, and having that work ethic is something that he instilled in me from a little kid, cutting lawns and working with him in a flooring business that he had successfully started and is now looking for retirement. He's not only the hardest working person I've ever known, but the one person I've come to admire and respect more than anyone in this world. I can only hope that my children, Isabella and Benjamin, look at me in the same light. I love you, Dad, and thank you very much. Playing defensive back can be a very lonely job. You go from hero to zero in an instant. My friend and fellow Hall of Famer Stephen Burns can attest to that. It is a very lonely job when a team scores on you. However, it is your teammates that lift you up and get you back in for the next play. During my senior season, I had looked to I set my own personal goals and trying not only give up a touchdown, but I did not want to give up a single catch during the season. During our opening game against Westfield State in 1992, where my sister Renee was a student athletic trainer, and her boyfriend at the time was touted as one of the best receivers in the conference. The very first play of the game, their team tried to prove just that. They tried going deep over my head. I'm proud to say I intercepted the pass, placed the ball in his chest, and asked him if he was looking for this. I'm sure my sister secretly grinned on the sideline, knowing it was going to be a very long day for him. Achievements and stats are documented and celebrated due to one's honors during the season. However, it is the off-season that really gets us ready and prepared. Our successes and failures are much easier seen when you play alongside a teammate and you can train with that person day in and day out. For me, that person was Edward McKinnon. He and I became friends from our freshman year due to our love for the sport. And we trained together and pushed each other beyond what we thought was capable. To this day, I am proud to say he's still one of my very best friends, and I would anticipate him being here at this podium in the near future. Thanks, Eddie. Like many of us, my playing days at UMass are filled with many stories, many which are better served and received in a barroom. However, one story was one of the funniest moments I've ever had. We were playing Plymouth State College, the perennial power in our conference. At some point during the fourth quarter, I informed Coach Joyce that I had to come out of the game due to an injury. He yelled for my backup, Paul. Paul took one look at me, looked back at Coach, and said, "Coach, I'm sorry, but it is in my body's best interest to sit this one out." I looked at Coach, Coach looked at me, I get up and went back in. Needless to say, we suffered the worst defeat we've ever been handed, 70-6. I can still hear their band playing the theme song from Animal House. I'd like to thank Coach Jim Kent and all of the coaches for doing what many would consider an impossible job. When you are a commuter school like ours, you never know who is coming back year in and year out. What he and the other coaches did was assemble the best 22 players they had available that season. To us players, UMass Boston became known as Misfit Island. We had a collection of very talented players that, for the most part, did not fit in anywhere else except here at UMass and under Coach Kent. I played for a number of coaches in my career, but Kenta, as he became known to us, was much more than that. He is also a friend. My mother was right. In football, you're gonna get knocked down, but it's what you do next that defines you. It is a sport that shapes character and teaches you the lifelong lessons of commitment, teamwork, and perseverance in the face of adversity. I was privileged to learn those lessons alongside great teammates. I am proud beyond words and appreciative to be honored here for doing something that I loved. Thank you, not only for this honor, but for the experience of playing football and studying at UMass Boston. Thank you. 6. I can still hear their band playing the theme song from Animal House.